niggas for real. Alright, what to do? Alright, interviews in a minute. Alright. You got this. You can do this. Alright, you can. Oh, I gotta go for a walk. Oh, that was a short ass intro. All right. Well, welcome to the greatest podcast in out the land. I don't know. I'm your host with charisma to maybe not boast so much. We have a guest today. He's a big guest. Normally I would talk about him and his accolades, but I'm low-key scared too. So we're just gonna bring him in. Mr. Alex Kane. Mr. Alex Kane. Hey.
You look a little nervous there.
Hey, no, I'm just You know what they say? The nervous guys don't taste that good. They they have small.
Sounds like you heard about me eating a guy one time.
What? Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'll be honest. So before this interview, about 2 hours before, the executive from Blur to Prove Entertainment called me and told me some definitely fascinating stories about you choking a person and how before you started wrestling you were like 140, 130 pounds. Then you started eating people, and now you're like the size of the people you ate combined. So are they true? Are they not? You don't have to.
It's true. It's
oh,
true.
Wow,
it's true. It's true. I have a taste for human flesh.
Okay. So
I do. But just don't piss me off.
Okay.
Or if you do make me mad, I'll reach to the screen. I did that one time.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that.
I'm mystical. All
right. Well, on the pin down, we want everybody to feel welcome. We want everybody to
delicious.
feel.
I'm gonna put some barbecue sauce.
I'm
you on the fryer? Just keep it in check. Just keep it in check.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put this down.
Yeah. Put that down.
I don't gain any more weight and look more plump than I am.
Yeah, but I need to add some size to the.
Nah, man. You already like what? A mountain? Like
Man,
you know what they say. Winter mode is for leaning out. And I'm heavy.
No. Winning mode is for being just a brick shit house.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. All right, so again, the rules: don't make you mad, don't piss you off, and you won't eat me or choke me.
Yep.
Maybe. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna. Whew. All right, feel a little bit better now because I've been told. Yeah, I've been told. Yeah. I'm only breathing because you told me to breathe. I'm not trying to piss you off. So. If you told me not to breathe, I would just die.
Deeper.
Right.
No, through the nose, not through the mouth. Through the nose, out through the mouth.
All right. One more.
Yep,
one
more.
Right.
One more.
All right. I think I got it. I'm ready.
All right. Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest podcast not on planet Earth, not in the United States. Welcome to the greatest podcast in the universe. I'm your host with the most charisma, the most, Desmond Penn. And today we have former MLW National Openweight Champion, the Supplex Assassin, Mr. Alex Kane. Alex Kane, how are you doing on this Monday night? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me take that back. Sorry. We're going to rewind.
Stole it. Davey
rewind.
Davey stole it. That's what
the current MLW
forever
MLW National Openweight Champion, the Supplex Assassin, Alex Kane.
Got
so
that
how are
right.
you? Yeah, sorry, my bad. My apologies. Didn't mean to make you mad.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so how are you doing today on a Monday night?
I'm doing pretty good. I just left the gym.
Hey.
Got a good workout in. my technique on the snatch and clean is getting better. So I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, I feel like that's really I feel like snatch and clean, that's like a pretty dominant workout you have to do when it comes to you
Tossing
people, tossing dudes on their heads.
dudes and women. I'm not a.
Oh wow, you do that.
I'm an equal opportunity. You step to that curtain, you can get your ass whooped.
Got you. What you mean the size you are? Do you ever like walk in the room and people kind of give you that look like, oh, this is a big dude?
Yes, yes, I do, and I eat it up. I love it.
I don't tell you. I read it was a meme. It was a gym meme I saw, because Lord knows a lot of my phone is just wrestling and gym meme stuff. But it was saying like there's levels of working out. Like you have the starter level when you're getting big, and people are like, "Hey man, like you're getting bigger. Nice job, patching back." And then you have where people say like, "Oh man, you're big." And then you have like the top status where people call you big dog. And then the highest, like the pedigree, the highest, is when the biggest guy in the gym like shakes your hand and gives you respect. I can gladly say I've gotten that one before, and when I tell you that is the one thing you don't think you needed ever in your life, but when you finally get it, oh man,
it just warms a different part of your heart.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get this interview started. So with you being a professional wrestler for MLW, like I just said, I kind of want to go into your upbringing, more so your first experience with wrestling, and then I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that as well.
Yeah, so like my upbringing was like, I don't want to say it was very religious. We'll say very, very religious.
Me and you both. Very religious.
Southern Baptist religious. Like
you're from Georgia, right? You're from Georgia.
Yeah. I'm from
okay,
Georgia.
Same. We're both from Georgia, so I think that might just be a Georgia thing.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty much. Like it was so bad. It was to the point where I thought like all black people were like Christians. Like I thought we created the
first black atheist drew me for a loop as well, my friend.
Well, you just met your second.
No judgment, man. No judgment.
I appreciate that. But yeah, that was really kind of like my upbringing. So like lots of church, lots of like choir stuff.
Right.
I was like, if we told my dad like, oh, I don't want to go to church today or whatever, like he'd be like, well, you can't do anything else for the rest of the day. So it was like, it was kind of like being grounded in a way. It was nuts. My first like introduction to professional wrestling was more like the video games.
SmackDown versus Raw.
No. Way before that.
Here Comes the Pain.
No, it was Just Bring It. No, was it Just Bring It? No, it was Warzone. Warzone was the first game I played.
I keep forgetting you're a bit older than me. You're older than me. You were born in the early '90s. I was born in the late '90s. I'm a '99 baby.
So Warzone was the first one I played on the N64. Didn't know who was or whatever, but like my older brother's best friend gave it to me. It was like, you might like this. This is cool. So I would just be playing that. Wasn't really good at it. And then like I think the second one I played was Attitude, which that was a little bit better because it actually kind of had entrances.
Right.
And I'd watched a little bit more wrestling. And then the one after that really like tied me into it was Just Bring It, and it wasn't even for like the wrestling itself. I was just always trying to go backstage, like all the time. Like in the match, I get up the ring. I just want to go. Let's run up the ring. Let me go upstage. Let me go backstage. I think it was when I was in middle school is when I really started watching the show. Because I had like I had the action figures or whatever. I'd be putting on shows in my bedroom,
like all of us young wrestling fans.
Well, I'd set up a little entrance. I'd have the themes on like a computer.
Did you cut promos in the mirror?
No, I did not.
Man, come on.
No, I did not. Even as good as I am at cutting promos, I still hate cutting promos.
I hear that.
So I would play that, and then like that same friend that gave me the Warzone game, he came over one day. He had like like one of those like Walmart replica belts, and he was like, "Dude, you want to wrestle?" And I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I want to fucking wrestle." Let's go. So
I've been dying to try some of these moves I've been playing.
He had a couple of the CDs that they put out in like the early 2000s.
Right.
So he created himself a character. I decided to be Randy Orton. I was Black Randy Orton.
Go to shit.
Very much so. So we didn't do backyard wrestling because we didn't have like a wrestling ring or a trampoline. So we did it in the front yard of my house. And it already kind of looked like Raw in a sense. Like we had like a fence or whatever, but
y'all had some Raw Underground shit going on.
Yeah, it was Raw Underground before Raw Underground.
Raw Underground before Raw Underground.
So like the door to the fence was knocked off or whatever. So it kind of looked like that. We couldn't spray paint anything, but we ran with it from there. And then like my front yard, like it kind of looked like a ramp a little bit, so everything worked. So we would just like recreate matches and stuff and put matches together and just do it in my front yard.
Dude, that's actually super creative. Like I wish I was that smart as a kid. I did more so like we had a trampoline. So, of course we were wrestling the trampoline, hitting swanton bombs, hitting all the power slams.
Yeah.
But that is like, if that's how you were playing it, like we had the fence, we had the ramp that looked like an entrance, we were putting a match together. I'm like, I would have never done all of that in middle school. High school, Jeff, yeah, totally high school, Jeff. But
then we would we got the kids in the neighborhood with it. And now that made it even cooler. So like they weren't as into it as we were or whatever, right. But they come through, they create characters, and we just have a good fucking time.
Dude, wow. So you pretty much made your own mini promotion.
I wouldn't even call it a promotion. We didn't really have a name for it. We were just trying to be our favorite wrestlers or whatever, and we would just like have fun. We like never like filmed it or anything like that. It was just something fun to do.
Imagine if you did, dude. You could just put that in your promo packages, like whenever you're talking about your.
Yeah, now I see so many guys that did backyard wrestling, like Myron and Fox, and I'm like, damn, bro, I wish I would have thought about this. Like,
exactly.
At some point, but
like. The most I have, like if I were to become a wrestler, they're like, oh, you have anything nostalgic, like of you being a wrestling fan as a kid? All I have is like me posing next to a Booty-O's poster I had in my room. That would always get me weird questions whenever anybody walked into my room.
Damn, bro, you young as fuck.
Look, so I was born in '99, right? So
shit, I was in fucking kindergarten.
Well, look, I'm the youngest of 4 siblings, and kind of like you, I had a very, very religious house, so I had to sneak watch and play wrestling because my mom's biggest fear was I was going to go to school and power drive a kid through a table because for whatever reason she didn't think I knew that wrestling was scripted and like like the injury. I was like, no, Mom, like I told her, I was like, I'm pretty sure like when you hit somebody with a chair, like that shit's gonna hurt, like no matter how big you are. So like I knew all the moves, and then they had the please don't try this at home thing, but I didn't get into wrestling until 2013. Okay. Because it was like it was an on and off love. And then 2013, that's when I was like, oh wow, like I still like this. So it's like, well, why not keep on watching it? And then at that time, my mom kind of just realized, well, he's been into
this. Stop this.
Yeah, exactly. He's been into it since 2007. He ain't dropped nobody under a head yet. Like, let him watch. Like, so ever since then, it's been a wrap. So, going into the second question I got. So, going through the MOW footage, looking at your character, I kind of want to know, do you have any influence on your character? Because I personally kind of saw, this might sound weird, so bear with me. I saw like a three-way mixture of Ron Simmons, Ahmed Johnson, and Umaga. Because like when you were saying the Bumaye, when you were saying that, you were really getting like, and then when you do your entrance and you're just really going berserk, I saw Umaga in it. And then how you cut your promos, I saw like Ahmed Johnson, Ron Simmons. I was really trying to think who the third person was. I was like, Ron Simmons, like especially like towards the late 90s when he was with Nation of Domination.
I think growing up, I liked Ahmed Johnson, not necessarily for his wrestling because I didn't really watch any of his matches, but I liked his theme music. His theme music was cool, and his look was cool. But definitely not really an influence for who I am.
Right.
My influences for who Alex Kane is Shelton Benjamin. He just has a really cool swagger to him. Kurt Angle. I know we're not supposed to say his name, but Benoit. Those are definitely Randy Orton. Who else? I think those are really the influences within wrestling, and then like from influence outside of wrestling, like Brian Dawkins, because he was if you've never watched like a highlight package of him, like look up Weapon X on YouTube. Weapon X Brian Dawkins. He just had this intensity about him, and he would just go complete nuts on the field, and it was just like, I like this guy. And then like a little bit of like Ocho Cinco or whatever. I really like how he carries himself, even though he's kind of nuts. But just like how he carried himself on the field, he didn't take himself too seriously, but he knew how good he was. So he could play with that. Who else? The Rock, definitely. Steve Austin. I think those are really.
I can definitely see 1997 Rock and Austin.
Yeah,
especially how you're talking on the promos. How you like? I saw one promo. It was you were about to defend your belt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mistaken, against ACH
and Calvin.
Byron Reed. Yeah.
Oh no,
Calvin.
no. Yeah, Calvin.
This was like a four-way dance, I think. If I'm not
four-way. If it was a multi-man, then it was. Defending it. It might have been Mania weekend. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I was watching that one, and you were delivering a promo how you thought it was unfair that you had to defend it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching it, I was expecting you to be like, man, I don't care. Like you just seem like that kind of guy. Like had that energy. You were like, man. I was like, oh, like this guy. It's like showing like his charisma.
Mm-hmm.
He's not playing into the mindset of like, I'm a big black dude. I have to talk like a gangster. I have to talk like I've been busting heads since elementary school. Like you were really showcasing a lot more than that. And then as the promo started winding down, you started getting really aggressive and really like living up to that name, the Supplex Assassin. And that was one thing I really, really admired while watching that promo.
I dig that.
You layered it way more than I feel like people I watch a lot cover. Even the WWE, AEW, New Japan, sometimes they cut promos, I'm like, this is pretty dry. Or like, you pretty much just said everything I was expecting you to say. And I know, like, I don't like growing too much. I'm not going to say any names because I understand that it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. So I don't know how much the pressure can be. I don't know any of that. So I try not to bash anybody. Like, go on my Twitter. I have never bash anybody over something that I think I could do better or something that I feel. But all of those influences, those are really nice. I kind of, I can definitely see all those influences. I like how you also incorporated outside of pro wrestling influences. That's a pretty nice twist. I've only heard, like, just looking at wrestlers' interviews, there's only like a very few who have done that. Like Dean Ambrose, his lunatic fringe gimmick was a little bit based in the Die Hard, and even his character now. So that was pretty good. So moving on to the third, I feel like you kind of already answered this, but you said your favorite past wrestler. You definitely said that Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
You also said, the GOAT. Agreed. Very underrated. Very like good in there, but he's still underrated. Even though he's now starting to get his roses, I still feel like he's very underrated because no one could move as smooth as Shelton Benjamin. There are only very few people who could move as smooth as Shelton Benjamin. And what made him more unique is that he was a big guy. Shelton Benjamin's like 6'1" and 240. It's hard. I'm 230, and it's hard for me to move smooth, But who would you say are your favorite current people going?
My favorite current people. Myself.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Even though Davey Richards is a hoe, I respect his craft. O'Shea Edwards, Suge D. I guess in other company, I love Roman Reigns. I love all of his work as of late. Randy Orton will always be in there, even though he's injured right now.
I know, so sad, bro. Trust.
Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Who else? I think that Jacob Fatu.
Ooh, I recently became a fan of him. I want to say about 2 years ago.
He's so amazing, and I still don't understand it. There's definitely more. I just can't. I'm blanking for some reason. Josh Alexander.
Current Impact Wrestling champion.
That man is amazing.
Became a fan of him when he was part of the North with Ethan Page. That was like my
Brian
first introduction.
Keith, even though I'm gonna beat his ass in a few weeks.
Takio shit, big dog. Takio shit.
Who else? Rico Gonzalez. He trains out of the school, the WWA 4. He has a lot of promise. I fuck with that kid because he listens. AC Mack. I love AC Mack. Very underrated, but that man is literally the complete package of a professional wrestler that you could want. All the intangibles, whatever. Somebody just needs to get that man a shot.
One thing I do like with all your lists and picks that you're just not naming people that everybody knows. Like,
yeah,
just like, oh, John Cena. Mm-hmm. Because, mostly when you ask people, like, you're naming names. Like, I can name a couple names that you said where I was like, oh, I've never heard of those people. And it makes me want to go,
look them up.
Matches. Yeah. And then you're naming people who, like, I've always felt like have been, like, really good, but don't get enough to, like, Josh Alexander. Like, Josh Alexander is somebody where I'm like, I remember when he was in the North with Ethan Page, and then when he split, I was like, he's probably going to be a mid-card guy. Like, he's good, but I don't think they're going to see a championship right now. And then he became Impact champion, and I was like, oh, wow. Like, this dude is fucking amazing. So that's just something I kind of really liked, how, you were naming.
Daniel Garcia is also on that list. I was in a 4-way with him. It was me, Mac, and Daniel Makabe or whatever, and I really enjoyed. Even though most of that, like first part of that match, it was me and him battling, but like I really like his work.
Daniel Garcia is definitely good. Current ROH pure champion. I was a fan of him before. I was kind of happy I could say that. Like, I was like, oh, I knew of him and I was a fan before AEW, because like, it's not a game. You can become a fan of whoever, whenever. But it's like having a rapper that you listened to when they were independent, and then when they blow up big, you're like, I knew that nigga. Like, I knew him. Like, before he moved big.
Yeah.
All right. So, next question. Right now you're a wrestler. One of the best wrestlers, I feel like, in MLW.
The best. No, that's fine. I can't say that because my boy Myron Reed's pretty goddamn good.
Dude. And you're humble, dude. That's like the best thing. That's like, you're perfect, dude. So when you decided to become a wrestler, was it always like you were a kid and you're like, when I graduate, I'm going to do professional wrestling? Or did you kind of have like a bit of moments to where you were kind of like hesitant, or you were like, maybe I should just do another job, and then you did that job, and then you just snapped back into focus and want to become a professional wrestler?
Yes, most definitely. That is exactly what happened. So like I went to college. I didn't graduate. I should go back, but I don't fucking know. College is expensive. And there's really nothing that I really wanted to do, but I went to appease my parents, and also I found that I wanted to see if I could hang with some of the collegiate wrestlers out of high school.
Right.
So I went and did that, and I made the team. And then when I did that, I played rugby, and then after rugby I dropped out of college, and I started working at Kroger, I believe. And like I would always tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna be a professional wrestler one day. And they'd be like, oh yeah, I can see you doing that, da 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 da. So that was always really cool. But there was a point in time where I was like, this isn't attainable. I'm not gonna do this. Like, this isn't like what I mean, like, I knew you need to go like a wrestling school or whatever, but like,
Right.
I never thought I would have the money to do that. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna around this time I was working at Home Depot. So this is like 2 or 3 years later. I was working at Home Depot, whatever. You know, I'm gonna work my way up to being the CEO of Home Depot. So on my Home Depot apron is a future CEO, and like that was kind of it for me. And then I ended up going back to college or whatever because my dad was like, you gotta get something. You gotta get something. I'm like, no, you don't. So I did that for another 2 years. Another 2 years. No, it wasn't even 2 years. It was like, I think I did like 4 semesters or some shit. I don't fucking know. Or whatever. The system was weird, but that doesn't fucking matter. Or whatever. So I'm in I think it was my sophomore year. I was in like my last class. I took my last exam, and I was looking up wrestling schools in the area because I was just gonna go visit one or whatever to kind of see like what
and to see if you see if you got the bug.
Yeah, so there was Robert Gibson School, which was like in the same town, and then there was like the WWA 4, which was like a few exits. No, like a few exits away. And I went to the WWA 4, just see what the vibe was. I didn't know
AR Fox's school, right?
Yeah, AR Fox school. I didn't know who Fox was, but Fox looked cool as shit. I was like, and he had like on the poster had all these connections and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, this might be the place to go. So I walked in the door, and I was like asking, like, where's Fox or whatever, or where's the trainer? And like somebody went to go get him, and I saw him walking up, and like you get that feeling when you're kind of like starstruck or whatever,
mm-hmm.
like a little bit, like you get like kind of like goosebumps. And like I got that as soon as I saw him, and I was like, oh shit, this guy's the real fucking deal. Like when you see certain people, like you feel that star power. So like he sat down and he was talking to me. He's the most humble, like so much humility. Like it was crazy. Like I'm over here in my mind, like this dude has wrestled all over the fucking world from what I can fucking see. He has all these pictures up on the wall of all these places that he's been. But he's like super fucking humble and then answering my questions. And it's not like, oh, I run a business or whatever, I want you to sign up, like type shit.
He's not bullshitting you.
Yeah,
or
he's
just
not
telling
bullshitting
you like, oh, you'll be a WWE star. Like,
yeah, no.
He's shooting the breeze with you.
He was just shooting the breeze. He's just a really cool dude. And he was basically telling me like how everything would work. So like I didn't sign up that day. But he did let me, and I don't care if his wife sees this. His wife fucking sees this. I don't give a shit or whatever. So that day he actually let me get in the ring or whatever, and like we just did some rolls and shit like that. Nothing crazy. But like as soon as I got in there, like, and all the students there were really fucking cool. And like he let me do that and kind of like sit in on a day of training or whatever to see like what it's like. And I was like, after that day, I was like, I'm fucking doing this shit. And then I went to their Thursday show that week, because they do a show every Thursday. It's a student showcase type deal. It's become a lot more than that now, but at the time it was just a student showcase. They go in and they have some matches or whatever, kind of put on a show. And after I saw that, I'm like, yes, I like the vibe here. Like, I think there was a graduation match that night, and like all the students were around the ring, hyping everybody up, hyping the guy up, and they were just having the fucking time, bro. So I was like, I'm definitely signing up. So I think a week or two later, I signed up. I paid my money. I'm sorry, I don't know why that's flickering, or maybe that's just on my end. But yeah, so like I paid my money. I think I ended up paying in installments, but that doesn't fucking matter. And like from like day one, like Fox was like super hands on. or whatever, because I was really fucking hungry. You know, like if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it right.
You want to put everything you had in
everything
it,
I
especially
had.
when paying money, yeah.
And like the coolest thing with him was like he really got to know me, he was asking like, what's your background, like what do you want to do, what do you like, or whatever, and like then he would like go and like all he does is watch wrestling. I don't know if that's still the case or whatever, but at the time all he did was watch wrestling. So he would find guys that like kind of like fit like where I kind of wanted to go with, you know, being a professional wrestler, and then he would bring that back to me like, hey yo, try this. So he's really, really integral. Other than being a trainer, but like just like the person that he was, that he is, like it was really integral to like the person that I am in wrestling today. So like I think I only trained for like I want to say 6 months before I debuted, and it was against him. It was against him.
Oh man, talking about the nerves.
And then fucking Theory, Austin Theory. Before he was just wrestling the independents at the time, or whatever. He was in Evolve, but he had probably already signed or whatever. They were just waiting, but he was in the crowd or whatever. So I had all this fucking pressure or whatever, because like at the time I really looked up to Theory. Like Theory was cool as shit. This young dude or whatever, fucking killing it. You know, like. And he looked ready already, so like that was a lot of nerves. I mean, the match was fine. They switched the finish on me, which is the weirdest shit in the fucking world. And you know what? They didn't tell me either.
Yeah, I can just imagine like them switching the finish, and then when you guys go back, you're like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't even that. I hit my fucking finish on fucking Fox or whatever, and the ref counts 1, 2, and then he super kicks me in the face. He's like, "That's my trainer." So that kind of was what it was. But even after that, like Fox, like he was like, yeah, you really have a chance to like be something in this business. Like you can really go far. Then he also told me this is probably more attainable than getting a good college degree. And I was like, yeah. At the time I was like, but now I think about it, it kind of is. But yeah, he like, and yeah, from then on, I was just like trying to like work more matches and stuff like that after school, try to get those reps in. But yeah, that was kind of like my comeuppance.
Gotcha. So with so apparently, you know, you did get better, you did hone your craft more, and it landed you where you currently are now, MLW. You're the forever.
I'm the forever. I don't even need the belt. I don't even need the belt. I'm forever.
You don't even. Yep, you don't. So how were you, I guess, like emotionally, how happy, how excited, how scared, how nervous you were when you signed with MLW, and how are you liking or not liking the path right now currently?
I was funny enough. Okay, so I think it was like one day, 2 years ago or whatever. Like I would check my booking email every now and again to see if any promotions were reaching out.
Right.
Most of the time they didn't. But I saw an email from MLW and I was like, somebody fucking with me right now. I opened the email or whatever, and it was basically like, hey, have you ever had any interest in working with MLW? And I was like, yeah. But like, I didn't think it was real. So like, I put my phone down. I was talking to my girlfriend at the time, which is not my wife, but I was like, I have an email from an MLW. Like, do you think this is real? I was like, she was like, I mean, whether it's real or not, you might as well check it or whatever. If it's something, it's something. If it's not,
if you get bullshit, it's a funny story.
Yeah, it's a funny story. But if it's something real, then like, you got something here.
Right.
So I opened the email, I answered it or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm interested or whatever. They gave me like a week to fucking decide. This is like the biggest decision I've ever made in my life or whatever. But they gave me a week to decide.
You're like, I need so much time. You're like, you got a week, buddy.
You got a week, buddy. So like, I had talked to everybody I possibly could, because I didn't like reading contract and stuff. know legalese or whatever. No one else in my family really did, but like you could read through it enough to like know what was going on. So I did that. I read through it and I was like, you know what, this can only benefit me as far as wrestling goes. It's only benefit me. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this shit. And you know, like the time that I've spent in MLW for these 2 years or whatever has been nothing short of fucking amazing. Like, I fucking love it there. They treat me like the fucking guy, and I'm not even world champion, but they treat me like the fucking guy. It's fucking awesome. I'm really tight with Court. We talk daily. And like he's really invested in me. And he's kind of made me become more invested in myself. Because, you know, sometimes you need that one person to believe in you.
You need that one person that has unlimited belief and faith in you and your abilities.
Yes. So like that's kind of like how our relationship is. And like I couldn't ask for anything better. Like I probably had like one of the best rookie years ever. Like I'm like in any company, probably ever. So like I'm beyond grateful. And I'm gonna be at MLW for as long as I'm gonna be at fucking MLW. We will fucking see. Unless one of these Fed companies about to call them, yeah, we really need Alex Kane. Yeah, bitch, you fucking need Alex Kane.
All right, so we're getting closer towards the end of our interview, so I'm gonna hit you with just one last question. This one last question does have a twist in it, and I will let you know what the twist is after you answer. It's nothing big, it's nothing too wild, I promise.
Better not be no dirt shit.
Hey, no, hey,
you can get 8.
All right.
Switch to this damn screen.
I promise. I don't have Davey Richards on the other line or anything.
Fuck that nigga.
This ain't that big. Yes, agreed. Unless I get Davey Richards on this show, then I might say it was all an act.
You can tell him that.
I will. You can tell him that. I'm that.
Technology challenged that.
Look, I never met Davey Richards in person, but he looks like a big motherfucker on my screen. So
you don't need to meet him.
But so towards the end, I just want to know: do you have any advice to any up and coming professional wrestlers, as well as just anybody who just has a dream that they're trying to chase and perhaps a little hesitant or a little, you know, nervous about it?
So like for like wrestling, this really applies to anybody, but like most things require some kind of schooling or whatever. Not like college, whatever. Most dreams go to die in college. But I mean, even if it's college or whatever, find a good school or whatever. For wrestlers, find the best school in your area. And by best school, I mean like, has your trainer like done something, or like, do they have the potential to do something?
Right.
Or whatever, because there's a lot of wrestling schools that just have guys who have never gone anywhere, have never wrestled anywhere, have never actually been good their damn selves, but they have a school and they're fucking draining kids for their fucking money or whatever. So first, find a good school. Start to think about like your character early. You don't have to iron it out right then and there, but start to think about what you want it to be. And I don't mean moves or I want to be a baby face or a heel. The baby face and heel are fucking.
I want to be the next Rock, or I want to be the next Austin.
Fuck that shit or whatever. Try to figure out a character or a persona that you identify with, and then like those first couple years of training, like go balls to the wall. Be like recover, you know, take care of your body and stuff like that, eat right and stuff like that. But like go balls to the wall. Like if you're in training and your trainer asks you like, what do you want to do today or whatever, because like some trainers will be like, or we're just gonna, they have their own little curriculum or whatever, they just run through that. But like Fox, one thing I appreciate about Fox is Fox didn't waste anybody's time or whatever. He asked you what the fuck you wanted to fucking do or whatever. You told him, you fucking did it. Everybody did it. Everybody learned or whatever. So if you're at training or you're at whatever the fuck you want to do with your life or whatever, and like the teacher or the trainer or professor or whatever is like, yo, what do you guys want to learn? Like have something like on hand, like, yo, I want to learn this or whatever. So you know, you can get something out of that session.
Right.
For wrestlers, Even if they're doing something at training that you don't think that you would necessarily do in a match or whatever, still learn it, because though you may not do it, somebody else is probably going to do it, and you want to be able to base for them, or keep them safe. Get a good gym membership or whatever. Don't fucking burn a hole in your wallet or whatever. You don't need a lot. But like, get a good gym membership. You don't, and when I say get a gym membership, I don't mean you got to be fucking Hammerstone or whatever. Hammerstone's Hammerstone, because Hammerstone's entire character revolves around him being as massive as fucking possible or whatever. That's like the very base of his character. I actually had this conversation with him. He was like, "You don't," because I was like, "Oh man, I need to get jacked like you." I'm like, "No." He was like, "No, you don't. You look. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically like, you already look like a wrestler. Just like keep honing in on that and keep like fine tuning that."
And if you happen to get jacked along the process,
then like, cool.
It's even better. Yeah,
yeah,
but don't just be get jacked. It's like, all right, what's your character like?
I'm jacked.
24-inch,
24-inch python. Because that's a lot of guys like mindset. Like, I have to be the most jacked person on the planet. You don't, because sometimes it doesn't make any fucking sense.
They like look at Darby Allin. Look at
Darby Allin does not need to be 240 pounds of solid muscle. Like no. But like, you want to look legitimate. You want to look like you're an athlete, and athletes come in all shapes and sizes. Like, I know a lot of wrestling fans will shame dudes for not having abs or whatever.
No.
Like, first of all, the strongest men in the world don't have abs. I'm sorry, they have guts. They have guts. Or whatever.
Are you referring to the Eddie Kingston maybe shaming when they were shaming Eddie Kingston?
No, but fuck whoever was shaming that man.
And I was like, Eddie Kingston's one of the best professional wrestlers currently going.
Wrestler in the fucking world. Also,
exactly.
When you're coming up, like, watch wrestling. Watch as much wrestling as you can. And I don't mean just WWE. WWE, especially now AEW, MLW. Watch MLW.
I was about to say,
Impact,
you gotta plug in MLW.
Fucking all of it from all the time periods. Just watch everything, because the more wrestling you watch, the easier the shit will become. Because once you understand the structure of a match, because there's a structure to the match, there's a formula or whatever. You can change that formula, and we do it all the time, but there's a formula to the match. And once you understand that, wrestling becomes so much easier, and like, you'll no longer be worrying about like spots and moves and shit like that. You'll be worrying about the things that actually get you a fucking job: facial expressions, being vocal, body language, ring positioning, all these things. So watch, like, become obsessed with it. That's what Fox told us. Like, if you want to be good at this, you got to become obsessed with it. And at that point in time, I stopped watching all other forms of media or whatever. I don't watch any sport. I don't watch any of the sports besides wrestling. It's all wrestling. The most other stuff I'll get is like video games and like TikTok, because I'm still obsessed with it. Right. What else? I think that's about it. Oh, also, like, when it comes to, a lot of guys don't like being critiqued by other wrestlers,
right.
But you need that. You need that. And I don't mean get critiques from everybody, because some people just suck. It is what it is. I won't say suck. Some people are great performers. Other people are not so great performers. But one thing that I always think is, if the person that you're listening to has never been to a top of this business, and there's many levels to this or whatever, but if they've never been anywhere, done anything or whatever, then they're not the person to listen to, because they can get to the top and they can't tell you how to get there either.
Right.
That's funny. But yeah, like find like people that you respect in this business, that you look up to in this business. And if they're on the show that you're on, or if they're open to, like, when you start having matches, and you can send a link to them and have them critique your match, like, take that and don't take it personally or whatever. Like, everything they say may not be there's no facts in professional wrestling. Everything that they say may not be gospel, but you'll find something in that critique that they give you that you can use, and that you can hone on, and that you can bring into that next match to do better.
One advice that, like, I live by is, whenever if you're ever doing anything and someone critiques it, and if you get like angry or super pissed at it, then the real message might be that they're right about it.
Yep.
But you didn't like that they called it out. So whenever like I get mad at someone critiques something like about me, whether it be like my podcast or even just like my job outside of this podcast, and I get like really in my feelings and like really mad, I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Like if I'm getting really mad, that they might have some truth. There might be some truth to this. And then I'll like take a second to think outside of myself, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do a little bit better at this, or I can be a little bit better at that.
Like Shug D or whatever, he's become a mentor of mine and a really good friend of mine over this past year, really. But like he will call me out on my bullshit, and like he does it from a place of love because he wants to see me win. Like that's what he tells me all the time. I want to see you win. I want to see you do great things or whatever. And people who care about you are not gonna fucking sugarcoat shit for you. They're gonna tell you what it is, because when they knock the sugar off the shit or whatever, like that stuff, that's what's gonna make you better. That's what's gonna accelerate your time in this business. And then for the wrestlers and stuff, or really for anybody, like well, mainly for the wrestlers, like once you start getting those matches under your belt or whatever, if you can get matches with people who are better than you, like actually better than you, like are in a position that you want to be in, like you have to get those matches, because like you can wrestle 50 matches in a fucking year or whatever and not get better, but you can wrestle somebody who's much better than you, a better performer than you or whatever, they have better psychology than you, and you can wrestle those matches and become a better wrestler, because then you're picking up things, you're learning things or whatever. That is like a cheat code. That'll accelerate your shit. I promise you, it'll accelerate your shit. Especially if you can get a promoter that believes in you and that wants to give you those matches, boy, you hit the jackpot. Hit the jackpot.
So the reason why I asked, and it might be, this is the twist I was talking about before I told you the question, and this is where I'm going to dive into my private life, which I like to think I'm a pretty private individual. I don't really reveal much on my podcast or on social media. But more so asking because very recently, I want to say about a week ago, I decided I was going to give pro wrestling a try. I kind of been, back in 2019, I was this close to doing, I was so close, but instead I decided to go into the military. So that where my path be. But then that ended with me getting medically kicked out. So I kind of just been like, I could do pro wrestling, but I've been just pushing it off. And also, like I'd say my biggest love is probably writing. I love writing. I write all day, every day. I write stories.
That'll help you so fucking much.
So that is like I consider myself creative. So like I do like the intro to the podcast. I made that intro, the music. I made the music for the intro. So like I'm just like, well, and then my biggest fear was like, I don't want to go in there and people are just like, oh, like he's writing, or like maybe he's trying to use this as a rocket ship. Like, so that was like one thing that like, I was like, it's holding me back. I'm going to push away from it.
Mr. Desmond Penn.
Yes, sir.
We are all using this as a rocket ship to get somewhere, whether it be in wrestling or outside of wrestling. Okay, we're all using it as a rocket ship to get somewhere. And nobody's going to think that, because most people keep themselves at wrestling schools. They're going to be happy that you're there because it's somebody else that likes what they like. Family, in the family. And if they do give you shit, fuck them. With you being a creative and you writing and you making stuff, like you really got, again, another cheat code, bro. Like you can pretty much like really flesh whatever you want your character to be. And I mean outside of the moves. The moves don't fucking matter. But like what you want your character to be. Like you could really like, I wish that I liked to fucking write, because I would have probably wrote out who Alex Kane was at the time. I've just been figuring out the shit along the way. But with you being a writer, like, you can write out what you want your character to be, and then you can start applying that or whatever. So that's fucking great. And then you can make music or whatever. You can make your own theme music. That's another fucking thing. Y'all motherfuckers out here, when you start wrestling, when you start doing matches or whatever, get some custom motherfucking theme music. And I don't just mean a beat. I mean some.
I'm just tired of seeing. I'm just tired of seeing wrestlers come up to
Hold on. With a catchy beat, something catchy, whether it be rock, hip hop. I like hip hop better. Hip hop things are way harder or whatever, but you can do what you want to do. But something catchy that has cool lyrics that explain to the people listening or waiting for you to step to the curtain of who the fuck you are. My first theme song, the one that's used on MLW, that shit is what really, I swear to God, that's really what got me over in the first fucking place or whatever, because nobody else fucking had it. And then you add in that the lyrics are dope, the beat is dope, and then I'm cool as shit in the ring. Money, we're printing money out here or whatever. So like, definitely remember that. So you like to write, you can make some music, you like to write, so you can probably do a little spitting on the mic. You got it. If you can sew your own fucking gear, I'm not. You got it. I'm
not that inclined. My talent stop. My talent stuff. Something that's like all I just said is like all I'm really good at. If I'm being honest.
Cool. So yeah, definitely give it a fucking try. Because like, if you don't, then you'll regret it.
And that's what made me jump to, because I contacted Deep South Wrestling.
A4, really just the A4 in Georgia. The A4.
All right.
The A4.
All right.
If you're gonna get trained by anybody in Georgia, AR Fox is the person that you need to go get training from. It's not a state-of-the-art facility or anything like that, but you don't need that or whatever. It's two wrestling rings or whatever, a nice building, and somebody who gives a damn about professional wrestling, who is not like, he can teach any style. He's wrestled everybody who's on television, and he's on television now. So like, he is where you need to go, and I don't care who hears this and doesn't like it. The WWA4 is the best school in probably the country, but definitely the best school in Georgia to go to. And it's also the cheapest.
All right.
I mean, a lot of y'all missed out on the 3-year deal that they used to have, but now it's like a year for like $1,600. But like, he'll have your ass ready in 6 months if you put in the work. He can have you ready in 6 months. And when I say ready, I don't mean a complete package like you're ready to go.
Don't mean like straight to the AEW.
Not straight to AEW, but like, he'll have you ready to be having matches, better matches than a lot of dudes who have been wrestling way longer than you at that point can fucking have.
All right, I will remember that. But I just wanted to so me asking you that question was a bit one, it was just a nice closer for the episode, and two, it was me being a little bit selfish too, just with asking that question, but I didn't want to start it off.
Bro, look, my DMs are open for anybody who has questions. If I can answer it, I'll answer it. If I can't, I'll shift you to somebody fucking else or whatever. But I'm here to see those who want this shit and want to put in the fucking work. I want to see you fucking win, bro. Like, that is the God's honest truth. I want to see you win. So like, if you ever have any questions, again, like I just reiterated, I will answer those motherfucking questions.
Gotcha.
But yeah, as far as wrestling schools, go to the A4, spend that money, get that fucking training, go fucking hard. And how tall are you?
Oh man, I'm not.
No, how tall are you? Bro, I'm go ahead.
I'm about 5'8" and 3/4.
Okay, cool.
Right under
5'3". Don't give a fuck about height or whatever. So you're probably gonna be a nice solid build or whatever. Yeah, do that shit.
I look like Eddie Guerrero early on. Like, that's just.
Oh
really,
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, short but pretty.
Shit. Yeah, pretty meaty.
Pretty meaty.
Do that shit. Do it.
All right. I appreciate that. And also I appreciate your time coming on the podcast again. Like I told you when I hit you up on Twitter, you really didn't have to come on and do this podcast. You could have acted like you've never seen my tweet, but you decided, and for being my first interview on this show and this first big thing I've done with wrestling in the show, I want to thank you very, very much.
You're very, very fucking welcome.
I do. You want to plug in your socials and handles before?
Follow me on Twitter. I need more Twitter.
Follow this man. Follow
me on Twitter. I'm funny. I post wrestling stuff, and I post things for you to think about. Okay, Alex_Kane 11. Follow me on TikTok, the Supplex Assassin. I believe it is that. Probably is that. If not, just type in Alex Kane. I'm the coolest Alex Kane on social media. Don't find me on Facebook. I have so many fucking friend requests. I'm funny, and I don't even know why most of those people want to be my friend, because I don't know them. They never came to a show. They never bought any motherfucking merch. So don't do that. Follow me on Instagram at the Supplex Assassin, or the real. Just type in Alex Kane Supplex Assassin. Follow me.
I'm pretty sure Supplex Assassin.
Yeah,
on
Instagram.
Assassin. Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram. Buy my merchandise, MLWshop.com. Type in Alex Kane, because a lot of my shit on there is dope as shit.
Literally just got a beanie. Literally got a Supplex Assassin beanie.
Yep.
And tee. Haven't got it yet. It should be coming in about a couple of days. It looks hard.
Yep. Also, get on Brainbuster Tees. I also have merch on there too. Yeah. Just do it all. Support your boy. You know. Do
whatever this man is telling you to do right now, ladies.
Because I will eat you, and I will reach to your phone screen and choke you.
He will. I've been told, and he just confirmed it. So if you haven't, go back and also not only watch Blurred and Prove Entertainment, go back and watch all the episodes of The Pin Down and like and subscribe, comment, share with your family, friends. But also go watch MLW and watch this man, the Supplex
Watch it on Pro Wrestling Television.
Do it.
TV. It's free. It is free. I don't want to hear nothing out your motherfucking mouth. It's
no
free.
$9.99.
No $9.99 bullshit. Go watch MLW on Pro Wrestling TV. It's the best wrestling out here. God damn it. It really is. It really is the best product out here. It really is.
Yeah. So with those being the last ending words, Mr. Kane, thank you very much for coming on this show. I very much.
Boomayay! Boomayay! Boomayay!